What's up, guys? Welcome to the episode of Calcio Ebbasta. With World Cup qualifying coming back tomorrow on Thursday, we figured tonight's Wednesday. We figured we take advantage and we just chat about World Cups from the past, from World Cups we can remember from 2006 until 2018. So, guys, what World Cup should we start from? We have a bunch.
Start with 2006, I
We'll
guess.
start with
The
2006.
best one.
All right, go ahead. Whoever wants to start.
That's the first memory I have of soccer.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, that's literally, I was 8 years old. I honestly can barely remember anything before 2006 anyway. Like in my life.
I don't remember anything either. I was 7 going on 8. So
Yeah, I mean,
But
it was a special summer.
I had just turned 10, but that was also when I first ever started watching soccer. So that sticks the most. I mean, you guys played it though your whole life. Like I never played
Yeah.
it. So that's when I first started, because then it was the World Cup and then Napoli getting promoted right after that.
Yeah.
So
No, I didn't play my whole life. I played baseball up until June 9th or whenever the hell Italy played Ghana. I
Oh,
was a
really?
baseball player.
Yeah.
And
I
then,
played.
and then
well, I was baseball.
I saw
too.
Italy. I saw my father watching Italy against Ghana, and he started screaming at Pirlo's goal while I was with my math tutor. Still didn't help, by the way, to this day. But
You
I
learned
was with my
something
math
new.
tutor, and I hear him screaming and yelling, going crazy, Pirlo, good goal, whatever.
Yeah.
And then I fell in love from there.
That's great.
I
I didn't-
remember-
I know you my whole life, and I didn't know that at all. So that's
Yeah.
interesting.
I remember leading up to that. I mean, I would always play. I was always playing rec. Like rec soccer on like Saturdays. And at that age, that summer, I did my first tryout after the World Cup for like my first like travel team in New Rochelle. But I remember, I think I was leaving. I was like the day of the Ghana. I mean, leading up to the World Cup, my father for like months was talking to me about how there's this World Cup, Italy. He saw them lose the penalty shootout in '94, and he was across the street from like this Brazilian bar in the Bronx. Like one side of the street in the Bronx was Italy fans, one side of the street was Brazil fans, and he was telling me about that. And then he talked to me about how the scandal in 2002, how we got robbed and we got knocked out by Korea with a bunch of the other teams. And leading up to the tournament for weeks, each car ride home, he picked me up from school, he would talk to me about a different player. So one day he would talk to me about, he would say, we have Del Piero, Totti, Pirlo, Buffon, Nesta, Cannavaro, all these guys. There's so many guys to name. And then to go and play the World Cup, I remember where I was every single game. And then to go and to win it, I think that's the only reason why, like, I literally fell in love with the sport. Like, playing and as a fan, that World Cup was just too special.
It was
Yeah, I
funny
think
for me too. Both my nonnas, by the way, I at least one of them for sure I remember, but I think both of them might have been here from Italy. Can you imagine that? Your country wins the
Yeah.
World Cup and they're visiting me in
That's
America.
funny.
So they had
That's
to
sick.
go. They had to witness Morris Park instead of Italia, which
Oh,
is funny.
Whatever. It was
Yeah, we
basically Italy.
I know,
Oh,
I know. It was a great.
We
was
were
Italy.
both at Morris Park.
And we were
at
all
Morris
there.
Park
We
that
were
day. It was
all
the
there.
same shit.
And we hadn't known Luca yet at that point. We were
Yeah.
all there.
We all ran into each other easily because I remember the final whistle. We scored the last penalty in 2006, and then right away we jumped in the car and we
Everyone
went
raced.
straight to Morris Park,
Absolutely. Yeah.
all the way from
The-
the Rochelle.
From the penalty, so Grosso scores the penalty. We're going crazy. I'm crying, and my dad actually told me to call him because he had to go for a gig. He had to
Oh, he
leave
was
early.
playing.
So
He
even
didn't
see it?
watch the penalties. He didn't get to see the
Oh my
penalties.
god.
He had to leave early. I call him, and because I'm a piece of shit, I said we lost, and he's like basically on the verge of tears in the car, and then I go, no, Dad, we won. Like Grosso scored the penalty, the last one, we won, and he's just, all I hear is screaming. All I hear
That's
is
crazy.
screaming from this guy on the phone, and then he just hung up, and I don't know what else
Dude,
happened.
I remember, like, I mean, almost every World Cup, there's like a new memory in my house,
Sure, yeah.
like a physical memory.
Well, yeah.
Like
Yeah.
World Cup 2014 when Suarez bit Chiellini and then they scored, and then I think it was as soon as Marquinhos got sent off and then came the goal. When the goal happened, the column in my basement, I put my foot through it. I literally my foot went through it, and
Matuzi Shem.
Yeah,
and
your old house has been through
World
went through a
Cup
lot.
World Cup
Been through a lot.
2006 when Grosso scored in the semifinal in extra time. My uncle was sitting he was standing right underneath one of those the horizontal columns, and he was only like 3 inches away from it standing. So when they scored, his natural reaction was to jump. He put his head through it, and we never fixed it. That little dent is still there. It's a memory. You walk by it every day, and like you feel like you're in 2006 again.
Yeah.
But I mean, that World Cup though was, in my opinion, not just because Italy won. That World Cup, I think, was from that World Cup. I think that the talent and the level dropped, just because the quality in that World Cup in 2006, each team was stacked. I'm not sure if you guys remember, but like, I'm not gonna tell you that I'm an expert on all these players, but I remember Costa Rica had that guy Paulo Wanchop. He scored the 2 goals against Germany. Ecuador had like Tenorio and Delgado, those two
Dude,
strikers.
Ecuador broke records. Ecuador broke records at the group
bro.
stage, the amount of goals that they scored.
Czech Republic, Jankulovsky, Nedved, Rosicki, and the worst team in the round of 16 was Ukraine. And Ukraine had Timoshuk and Shevchenko. Shevchenko was the captain. That was the worst.
No,
team
they made it to the quarterfinals. Dude.
Sorry,
the
worst team in the quarterfinals was the Ukraine.
Yeah, and they still had a good team. No, the talent spread was the best in 2006.
The spread across the whole tournament between Brazil, France, Germany, Italy.
Because any of those teams that made the quarterfinals, except for Ukraine, you could have said, like if they win the World Cup, it's like, okay, like they're World Cup worthy winners.
All those teams, man. I mean, England squad too.
Yeah, basically every team that made the seven teams out of the last 8. You could say any of those teams won the World Cup. You could see it happening. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because
like
they
now
have the
you
best generation of their players.
You get, like, for example, in 2010, you couldn't possibly Uruguay had an amazing tournament, sure, but like you couldn't see them winning it. You know what I mean?
No.
Same with maybe 3 out of the last 4, because it had to go all the way to the semifinals for you to say, okay, a team deserved it. You know what I mean? Like Germany, Spain, and Netherlands. I think Netherlands should have won that tournament, to be honest, but whatever. It is what it is. Even in 2014, like it was clearly going to be Germany and Argentina the whole way. Like those were the 2 best teams. There was no other teams that could have beaten them.
And I mean, that World Cup in 2006 gave us one of the best performances we've ever seen a single player do on the field. Zidane versus Brazil. That Brazil team on paper should have won the tournament, like any other teams, but that was the most prepared team. They had, think about it, they had
everyone in their prime.
Ronaldo, Robinho, Kaká, Roberto Carlos.
Did you say Ronaldinho?
Cafu, Ronaldinho, all these guys.
Imagine waiting that long to say Ronaldinho.
I still have to
they had Adriano too. They had
Adriano. And Zidane in that game put on the best performance we've ever seen. And that was like the semifinal?
No,
that was the quarterfinal. That was his 3rd to last game in his entire career. And he put on that performance against that team.
And not only Zidane, but we had Cannavaro. Like when you think of defender and like the defensive performance, like it's Cannavaro versus Germany. You know what I mean? Like you get Zidane versus Brazil. Generational. You get Zidane versus Brazil, and then you get Cannavaro versus Germany. You say that to any real soccer fan, they know exactly what you're talking about. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Hands down.
Those players, almost like the legends, players that played in that tournament, really defined their careers there. Like, look, Villa had a great World Cup in 2010. Villa cemented his legacy for Spain. But Villa, you wouldn't put him in a conversation with Zidane, Cannavaro. It's funny to say that. You wouldn't. Villa had an outstanding tournament in 2010, but me personally, I wouldn't put Villa on the levels of those players.
I would disagree. I think not Zidane, but like in terms of impact that he had, Villa was literally astonishing in 2010. Like I don't think they win that tournament without Villa.
He was phenomenal, Villa, that tournament.
But then again, I mean, they had
Yeah, but their
Spain from
team was
2008 to 2012 is like that's the greatest you're ever gonna see soccer
Yeah.
played. Like you're never
one of
gonna
the
see
most
soccer
dominant
play better
eras
than that.
ever. Exactly.
Absolutely.
You're
Absolutely.
never gonna I can promise our viewers, I can promise you too, you will never see soccer played better than that from those
And
4 years.
No, I mean from a neutral perspective too. Like in 2010, if we weren't Italy fans, like even though we were obviously, and just we didn't go far, but you respect that. Like just watching that
Yeah.
football be played is ridiculous. Now that you think
Yeah.
back at it, like the past two World Cups compared to that, like what
I mean,
they did in that
kicked our
World Cup.
asses.
Yeah, I
2000
know,
They
but I'm
kicked
just
our
saying.
ass.
2010
They're
was
always
so
the
weird for me
team.
though. I don't know about
They're
you
the
guys.
only team we can't kick their asses. They kick
Yeah,
our
it's
asses.
always a
But
thorn in
Dan,
our side.
we
Yeah.
kicked Spain's ass for 82 years.
Yeah, I know. So it's whatever.
Until his recent generation.
Until we lost in the penalty shootout. I mean, I'm wearing the jersey from Euro 2008. Until we lost that penalty shootout with Spain in the quarterfinals, we went 82 years of dominance over everybody.
Yeah.
Literally everybody.
Yeah.
We used to walk all over these.
The only team that could beat us and that always beat us, probably Brazil.
Brazil.
We
But
still don't even know if we
powerhouses.
can get out of them. Yeah.
And I remember, like, it's funny. I mean, I can't even comment about World Cups 34 and 38. Like, I mean, we all know World Cups, anything before the
Oh, you weren't there?
1950s doesn't count.
You weren't there? What do you mean?
Anything before the 1950s doesn't count. But obviously 34 and
The
38
50s,
counts.
the 70s,
The 70s.
the
You're going that
50s,
far.
60s.
You're going that far.
You think 60s soccer counts?
60s counts. Why not? We say the 60s counts.
I don't know.
I don't know. It's a
know.
tough one. But anyway, World Cups that we have more information about. Obviously, we know more about 82 and of course 2006 than 34 and 38. But the World Cup in 1982, Italy was like the laughingstock of the world because they were going through those whole problems with Rossi and other players got arrested. They were in courts. The Italian Federation wasn't letting the team travel to Spain to play the World Cup. 2006, Calciopoli were the laughingstock.
Yeah.
And how's it funny? In 1982 and 2006, Italy was like an embarrassment on the world stage because of the scandals they had going on within the federation. And those are the years that they go and they win the World Cup. Other years that they were favored to win, niente, nothing. That generation.
Those two World Cups are the essence of Italy and as a whole.
Yeah.
They make it hard for themselves and then come out on top when it's, when they're really beaten down, especially in that 82 World Cup when, like you said, there was the whole scandal, the betting stuff and everything. And then all of a sudden, playing in a group, very easy group, Cameroon, Peru, and Poland. Poland was amazing. But Cameroon and Peru, and we tied every game. Three ties, and we somehow made it through. And then you play against Argentina, you play against Brazil, you play against Poland, and then you play against Germany, you win it. Like that's not. I don't think there's ever been a run to a final to win a tournament harder than that. Like, tell me,
you know what's pretty cool? You know what's pretty cool? We got to meet the man that was like behind that.
Yeah. You got to put that in the video. You got to put.
I will.
When you put this as a clip, you got to put the picture up.
I'll find the picture of it.
There's me and this schmuck for everyone. There's me and this schmuck taking a picture with Paolo Rossi in Italy.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. I remember calling my dad after, and I said, "Pa, I just took a picture with Pepito Rossi," and he goes, "What? You took a picture with Rossi?" You go, and my dad, he was like, he couldn't believe it.
It was surreal.
It was cool.
Like being with a guy that your father's always talking about. Like,
and you know what's crazy? 1982, Italy made it hard for themselves up against the ropes. 2006, Italy under pressure with Calciopoli. Does it kind of remind you of the issue that we're in literally now within the next 24 hours?
Yeah, but I was going to say too, we made qualifying. You win a Euro too, and then you come out of it like that.
Italy wins a Euro, and then they go and have such a poor qualifying stage. Fine, whatever. People want to say Jorginho should have made the 2 penalties, but we still tied to Bulgaria and we still couldn't score anything against Northern Ireland.
We tied to Bulgarian plumbers and Northern Ireland potato farmers.
Those are the two teams that we tied to, and then honestly, we deserve the playoffs. But at the end of the day, of course, Italy makes it hard for themselves, and it's annoying because when it's time to step up on that stage, they always step up. And it shouldn't be that we have to reach that point. Why couldn't we just go
That's the
through
way it
calmly?
always will be.
It's
the way it always will be.
It's just ingrained in us at that point. I just feel like,
It's frustrating.
They take
It's
the
really
foot off the
frustrating.
gas for whatever reason, and that's just the way it is.
I mean, look, if Italy manages to not qualify to this, I can't
two
believe
straight
I'm
World
saying
Cups,
this.
dude. I wouldn't. I'd be speechless. I don't even.
Johnny,
Guys,
I don't
the
know.
last time we saw a World Cup like knockout game from Italy is
Was
July
2006.
9th, 2006.
2006.
July 9th, 2006.
Yeah, 16 years.
Dude, we were
That's
like
not
8
fair.
years old. We were 8 years
not
old, and
fair.
now we're here 23, 24, and 25, and we still don't know we're not even for sure in the World Cup yet.
I'm
tired
telling you
of this
though, we
shit,
make
man.
this World Cup a winning. Bookmark
Yeah,
it.
Dan's been convinced since.
I'm
forever.
convinced. I don't give a shit. I'm convinced.
I don't
Especially if we have Spinazzola back, it's happening.
know. Spina.
I
There were
wish we
people
had him
saying,
back
"Why
then.
isn't Spina even here now?" There are people really saying, "Why isn't Spina called up?" How can you?
Towards
How can you be
Achilles in
called
the
up?
summer, bro?
He's the Stangopo Divan.
Yeah, for real. I know. No, it's I mean, we'll see. I mean, I don't know. Johnny, I don't know where you were in 2017 in that fall when we didn't qualify. Like Dan and I were watching the game. We were watching the game in our apartment in Germany, just looking at the screen. And as the minutes went down, we were still 0-0 with Sweden. And as the minutes go down, 30 minutes gone. Oh, we have time. 20 minutes. We have time. 10 minutes. It came down to the added on time. Oh, there's 3 minutes. There's 2 minutes. There's 30 seconds. We were so convinced they were going to score. And then when the referee blew the whistle, and I think it was like Belotti hit the ground and you saw the Swedish players going crazy.
Yep.
That was a very, very, especially in Germany, dude, that was a very hard next 3 months.
I couldn't react because it was actually my internship at SiriusXM back then. So I was doing a live show.
Oh, wow, that was a while
and
ago.
watching the game at the same time while we were doing, I think, a UFC show, and I was just sitting there in shock. But I couldn't do anything. I literally couldn't say anything. Couldn't react. I couldn't cry. I couldn't do anything. And I just remember going home.
The amount of shit talking that, I mean, it was deserved, whatever, but the amount of shit that we had to deal with the Germans, with all German teammates.
Well, you guys, yeah.
Oh my God, man.
Look,
I
as
want to just
much
call
as
up in a ball.
as much as I say to all my friends, everything like, "Oh, I'm good." Like, if we don't make the World Cup, I saw a World Cup, I saw a Euro, whatever.
It always hurts.
But if I don't see Italy at another World Cup, 2 World Cups in a row, I'm just gonna like, you might as well not talk to me. Like I'll be really depressed. That's all I'm gonna say.
Man. I mean, we'll see.
It's gonna be a tough 2 games, guys.
But that's the thing. Because everyone has been saying, "Oh, it's gonna be Italy, Portugal." Not
Not even.
necessarily.
it might not even be Italy.
It might be Macedonia, Turkey, dude.
Yeah,
We
Portugal's
don't
also
know.
banged up. Yeah, exactly. Turkey.
That's the
might win.
thing.
You don't
Like
know.
when it comes to this level, it's not like how it's in basketball where it's like, what is it, like a series of 7 or 6, whatever it is. Obviously, if Italy plays Macedonia over 7 games, you expect Italy to win at least 6 of them easily. But tomorrow's like a final. It's 90, potentially 120 minutes, potentially pens. So whatever team shows up to play, is gonna go through. It doesn't matter.
I'm kind of worried with that like lineup that I saw. I don't know. IFTV put out a lineup. I don't remember who they accredited it to, like as a source.
Yeah.
But they put out a lineup with like Mancini starting.
Mancini.
That dude shouldn't even be playing.
Florenzi.
That dude shouldn't even be playing in a top 7 team in Serie A. Like he's not.
I'll tell you what. Mancini's eyebrows are gonna be on fire tomorrow. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, that Di Lorenzo injury also didn't help. So.
But the thing I don't understand is
Florenzi.
The thing I don't understand is
but
Florenzi. I like
Florenzi.
I always liked him.
No, it's not.
But you have De Sciglio. Not even because I'm a Juve fan.
But he's been playing better.
You have De Sciglio that not only has he been playing well, he's actually been playing.
Yeah,
Florenzi hasn't been playing. De Sciglio and Di Lorenzo have both been playing 90 minutes in and out. At least Di Lorenzo the whole season, De Sciglio since 2022 started. Now you go and you bring in Florenzi, fine, maybe the experience. Look, I trust Mancini knows what he's doing, but I mean, I don't know.
That's all we can do.
Hopefully, and
Well, look, that was a probable starting 11. You don't know what the
no,
11
for
the
sure, it's
11's gonna be
probable.
tomorrow. It could be Deschito. Who knows? I
Is he
hope
even
it is,
there,
to be
though?
honest, because he's
Is he
been
even
playing.
there?
Yeah, he got called
No,
up in
Deschito's
place of Di
He called
Lorenzo.
up at the last minute, right?
Yeah, he got called up in place for Di Lorenzo because Di Lorenzo went there.
We
he
really
got
don't
the-
have Bonucci or Chiellini, right?
No, we do. We have them for both.
They're there.
Oh, but they're
Supposedly,
saving
they're
them.
not 100%
saving
fit.
them for the final, hopefully. Yeah.
Like
Mm.
Chiellini played the other day against Salernitana, but he only played like about 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Then he got subbed off. So they're not 100. Bonucci's not 100% fit either. So we'll see. Like I saw people were saying,
Doesn't
well,
matter. When they
saw
play
the,
for Italy together, it's different.
people saw the probable starting lineup and they said, why aren't Bonucci and Chiellini starting? But if they're not fit, how can you expect them to be starting? Maybe
Yeah,
if you
it
save
gives them
him,
a few-
if you save him for the final, look, obviously, when you play Portugal, I think if most likely if it will be Portugal, you would love to have Bonucci and Chiellini available. Portugal is very different from Macedonia. But like I said, if Italy, I don't think they will, but if they go in with the approach like how they went against Bulgaria and Northern Ireland, they shouldn't go in with that approach because a final is a semifinal final. You don't expect them to go in with that approach.
No.
But
No.
I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I mean, at least
It'd be interesting.
I mean, look, Calcio Twitter has been pretty divided, like the past with the title race, with like the 4-horse race for the Serie A. It's gonna be nice, to be honest, to see like the next week and a half, it'd be kind of like united again, because it was so nice. It was so nice last summer. Calcio Twitter was the most pleasant place.
No
to be.
fights.
There were 0 fights, not a single fight.
Yeah.
Maybe there was fights
And-
about Immobile, who should be the striker. That was it. But it was pleasant. Now, Calcio Twitter's
It's
been. I
okay.
mean, it's been kind of like edgy the past few weeks. Obviously with the Serie A, but I mean, the next week it should be nice. It should be fun.
Wait for
Fights.
the game. Wait for the game to end. Even if they win, don't worry. People will start. Because if they play poorly and win, it's still going to be an issue. Don't worry.
Who gives a shit as long as we win, dude? We could literally like Macedonia could literally score an own goal in the 90th minute. I will do a backflip tomorrow and Tuesday if we go through, but we'll see.
Let's get it there.
All right, guys. Thanks for being with us in this episode of Calcio Ebbasta. Hopefully tomorrow we'll have a nice video reacting to the semifinal against Macedonia.
Yeah, we should be in person, so hopefully we get something a little bit more exciting for you guys to watch. In terms of like all of us being together, but also want to give a quick shout out to Nameless NFT and Steven, obviously, for hooking us up with the design. So it looks great. Appreciate you as always. And thank you guys as well for following and watching Calcio Ebbasta TM on Twitter and TikTok if you want to follow, and Calcio Ebbasta on YouTube. So we appreciate it, guys. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you guys. Ciao.